What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. Hope you're all doing very, very well. I want to talk about the Storm build once again, which I think, in my opinion, is probably the best build that came out of the mini-series that we talked about. I think damage-wise, the Elementalist build can pump more damage, but in terms of damage plus, like, ease of use, like the difficulty level and all that other stuff, I think that the Storm build is in a really good place. So, a lot of you guys had comments and questions about how to deal single target damage on the Storm build, and we are going to talk about that today. I got my one little dummy over here. I'm going to pretend like it's a raid boss. I'm going to show you some footage from me doing heroic raid right now with this build. So let's talk about the talents first of all. What are you going to switch when it comes to the Storm build from AoE to single target? Here's what happens. Basically, you're going to add in Lava Lash up here with 1 point in Molten Assault. This reduces the cooldown of Lava Lash. You don't care about spreading Flame Shocks. There's only one target. But we do care about the 3-second cooldown reduction on Lava Lash. That's very important. We're dropping Crash Lightning because it doesn't do nearly as much damage as Lava Lash does. And we're not hitting multiple targets. We're only hitting one target. Okay. You could take Elemental Blast if you want to. And a lot of the builds suggest that. I'm just going to show you this guide without Ele Blast because I think it's fine without it. And I think you can put that extra point into Swirling Maelstrom, which is really going to help out a lot. So let me just go back for a second. We're dropping Alpha Wolf because we don't need any AoE damage. So we're going to have Physical Wolves still. Same Physical Wolves. We just won't have the Alpha Wolf going on. 2 points in Legacy. 1 point in Ele Assault. There's your Storm stuff. Here's how the build kind of works. Again, I'm dropping Elemental Blast and I'm picking up Swirling Maelstrom. Why? Because Ice Strike guarantees a stack of Maelstrom weapon. This is so important to this build. You need to be building Maelstrom weapon stacks so that you can get to your spenders. And having Ice Strike giving you a guaranteed Maelstrom weapon stack is really, really good. We'll get the dogs going. Okay. So now I'm going to get up here, and you can see we're building. I can use the spender. I can Ice Strike gets me a guaranteed Maelstrom weapon stack. That is really, really important, okay? Now, you have 3 basic abilities that you're going to be maintaining here. You're going to press Storm Strike as much as possible, okay? Then your filler button is going to be Ice Strike, and then another filler button is going to be Lava Lash, okay? You want to maintain this Flame Shock up here with Lava Lash. That's what you're doing. But again, the entire point of this build is to press Storm Strike as much as you possibly can so that you can trigger deeply rooted elements. That is where a ton of your damage is still going to come from. Not the proc of deeply rooted. Like, the Ascendance proc is going to be fine. But what you're really looking for is getting into Ascendance form so that you can trigger the lightning bolts, right? From Static Accumulation, Thorum's Invocation, getting those lightning bolts to trigger back to back to back, and getting them to refund themselves. This is why I don't take Elemental Blast, is because Elemental Blast doesn't have a chance to refund itself. Whereas with Static Accumulation, Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning can both refund all the Maelstrom weapon stacks that you spend on them, okay? That's really important. That's really, really important because it will allow you to just keep the flow of combat going over and over and over again, okay? Let's actually show, let's do an actual test here on what it's going to look like. And I'll show you the damage and all that stuff, okay? So number 1, you're going to get your totem down. Then on pull, you want to pop like a potion. And I'm going to pop my anvil as well. We're going to summon our wolves. And we want to get Flame Shock up right away. Okay? You do need to get Flame Shock up because otherwise your Lava Lash does half the damage it normally would, okay? So pop your externals. Then wolves into Flame Shock. Into Doom Winds. And then I would do a Storm Strike. Try and get Storm Strike on cooldown. Because, again, we want to be getting it off. We want to be using our Legacy proc to get it off cooldown, right? We don't want it to just go off cooldown on its own. You want to be getting the Legacy proc going, okay? So here we go. I'm going to walk you through it here. Potion, Anvil, Dogs, Flame Shock, Doom Winds, Storm Strike, Sundering. Now I got to build up some Maelstrom weapon stacks here. I'm at 7. Chain Lightning for my Sundering. And then a second Chain Lightning for my Sundering. Now we're doing Lightning Bolt. Okay, now we're Storm Strike. Oh, we got a proc. Press Wind Strike, Ice Strike, Wind Strike, Lava Lash, Wind Strike. Okay, good. Summon our wolves again. I'm going to cash in on the Frost Shock there. Lightning Bolt to reset Storm Strike. Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Storm Strike. Lightning Bolt to reset. Storm Strike, Storm Strike. Got a proc again. Lava Lash to fill. Wind Strike, Wind Strike, Ice Strike, Storm Strike, Wolves. Okay. Lightning Bolt to reset. Storm Strike again. Lightning Bolt to reset. Sundering. Storm Strike. Now we have to press Chain Lightning because of the Sundering buff. Okay, Chain Lightning, Storm Strike, Chain Lightning, Storm Strike. Now we go Lightning Bolt and then Wolves. Lightning Bolt refunded itself. Lightning Bolt again. Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Flame Shock, Lava Lash. Get my Anvil going. Ice Strike, Frost Shock, Storm Strike, Lightning Bolt to reset. Storm Strike, Storm Strike, Lightning Bolt refunded. Lightning Bolt again to reset. Storm Strike. I'm going to fill with a Flame Shock. Ice Strike, Frost Shock, Storm Strike before Lightning Bolt. Storm Strike before Lightning Bolt, then Lightning Bolt, okay, to reset it. Storm Strike, Wolves, you get the idea. That's the basic idea there, okay? One more window with Doom Winds plus Sundering. Let's wait for Doom Winds to come back before we press Sundering. Flame Shock to fill. Doom Winds, Sundering, build up some Maelstrom attacks. Chain Lightning, Storm Strike, Chain Lightning, Storm Strike, Lightning Bolt, then we go Wind Strike because we want to make sure that we're getting free Lightning Bolts, okay? That's the build. And you can see we're settling at like 92k. It was a little bit, probably a little bit higher. You know, with Lust, it would be higher. You can see our Lightning Bolt damage is very, very high because that's the main thing we're using. Storm Strike, Wind Fury, Chain Lightning, Spirit Wolf, Storm Blast. There's all your other stuff. Again, Lava Lash and Ice Strike are fillers, but Ice Strike is very important as a filler because it'll give you a Maelstrom weapon stack guarantee. This is so important, okay, that it gives you that guaranteed Maelstrom weapon stack because it gets you back to using your Lightning Bolt, and that Lightning Bolt might refund itself with static accumulation, and it will also reset your Storm Strike for you as long as you've spent the 10 Maelstrom weapon stacks, right? So very, very important to be building Maelstrom weapon stacks so that you can in fact spend them so that you can get back to your spenders. Let me back up this a little bit. Here's a amalgamation that I did. Let's back up a little bit. Here we go. Here's the beginning of the fight. This is single target. On Heroic, we do separate the bosses. We're not fighting them together. So it is pure single target. One thing to remember with our build, we do not have a big burst combo at the beginning of our build. All the other people here, you can see, we're like keeping up with the damage right now. We're doing 150k right now, which is really good. But our damage will fall down a little bit here. I do have Elemental Blast in this, just so you know. But again, you do not need to run Elemental Blast. I promise you, you will do damage without Elemental Blast. It's actually perfectly fine. You'll get those resets on Lightning Bolt, and it will work out well. But again, if you want to run Elemental Blast, this is the one. Let me just say really quickly. You can. Don't get me wrong. You can. You can substitute out the Swirling Maelstrom for Elemental Blast if you want to do that, okay? That's your choice. Totally up to you guys. If you want to take Ele Blast, it just adds an extra layer, an extra wrinkle in this build. Because then, what if you press Sundering? When you press Sundering, you need to press Chain Lightning twice. Okay, but then you're going to have Elemental Blast just sitting off cooldown. Well, then I want to press Lightning Bolt because I'm going to get the refund from static accumulation. So it's like, what's the point in even having static accumulation if I'm just going to be pressing Elemental Blast for most of the fight, which is what I end up doing here. So it's up to you. You can do it either way, guys. Our damage here is not bad. We're 6th on the meters. Again, these other people have really big burst combos, right? Big cooldowns that they're pressing. Like alignment for Mcrass on his Druid. The Demonology, the DH there, having his meta, obviously really, really big cooldowns that we don't have in the same way. We have consistent DPS that we'll get there by the end of the fight. The longer the fight goes, the more Ascendance procs we're going to have like I just got right now, and the more damage we're going to end up doing. That's just how it's going to go, okay? Which is really, really nice. So yeah, this is the fight. Just make sure you're focusing on pressing Storm Strike to get it on cooldown so that when you use a spender, you'll get it off cooldown with Legacy of the Frost Switch. Managing your Legacy of the Frost Switch procs, or, you know, passive, is the most important thing in this build. If you can do that correctly, I promise you, you will end up doing lots and lots of damage. Even if you have to do mechanics like this, because the mechanics are pretty annoying. I think I end up staying here. I don't have a defensive, but it doesn't matter on Heroic. Then we get another proc on Ascendance. Very, very good. Make sure to try and prep your Ascendance with a Lightning Bolt. Here, I was pressing Chain Lightning in my Ascendance window because I had, I think I still have my Sundering buff or whatever. But anyway, make sure that you're trying to reset your proc. Make it a Lightning Bolt proc, not a Chain Lightning proc, because Lightning Bolt will do a lot more damage in that Ascendance window. See, I got an Ascendance proc right here. I think we're doing chain lightning again, unfortunately, because I had done Sundering before. So I wasn't managing that very well at all in this fight. You can see I keep pressing chain lightning instead of lightning bolt. But our damage is still okay. We're 4th on the meters right now. Not bad at all. Almost at 100k, single target. That's how the build goes. Once again, this is with Elemental Blast. You do not have to run Elemental Blast, but you can. You can see we did 99.9 right there. Unfortunately, we didn't crack 100k, but, you know, let's call it 100k. But that's how the build works, guys. This is the talent tree. That's how it works. Hopefully this can help some of you guys who are struggling to try and get single target damage on an Enhancement Shaman right now. It is just kind of hard to get single target damage, period, on Enhancement Shaman. But this is the best build, I think, right now for producing single target damage. And this is the best way to set it up. Remember, you want to press Lava Lash as a filler, basically. Ice Strike is a better filler if you have Swirling Maelstrom. If you don't have Swirling Maelstrom, if you took Elemental Blast instead, then these two are basically the same priority. They're both just filler buttons, okay? And then you have a bit of an added wrinkle of having Elemental Blast. But again, it's totally up to you guys. You can run it whichever way you want. Remember the most important thing, Legacy of the Frost Witch. Make sure you are managing those procs. Get Storm Strike on cooldown first before you use the Spender. Then you'll get it back. Then you can press Storm Strike again, and you have a much better chance of proccing DRE, which is where you get all your damage from. Okay? Thank you guys so much again for watching. Drop a like and subscribe if you like this content and want to see more of it. I would really, really appreciate it, guys. We're almost close. We're closing in on 9K subscribers. I don't know if I just exited there. I was about to show you, but we're closing in on 9,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate, guys, if you drop a like and subscribe, share with your friends. I would really appreciate it a lot. Thank you so much. Guys, I love you all. I will see you in the next one.